If you follow my drone tech account on Instagram, the Drone Geek Tech, you may have noticed a few weeks ago I posted a reel featuring the DJI MATRICE 300 RTK. Back then, and even as recently as just a few days ago, I've had a lot of you reach out to me asking, is that your drone? And as much as I'd like the answer to be yes, it's not. It belongs to a company called DarkPulse, and what they use that drone for is leak detection on natural gas pipelines for their clients. On today's episode of Let's Talk Drones, I'm going to pull back the curtain a little bit for you to show you how I play a role in their operation. What's up? It's Chris, the Drone Geek, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Drones. Let's Talk Drones is brought to you by The Droning Company, the #1 online resource for commercial remote pilots based in the United States. If you've got your Part 107, make sure you check out The Droning Company at thedroningcompany.com and across all major social media platforms. Now, recently in a video I did comparing the specs that were leaked about the DJI Air 3 versus the actual specs of the DJI Air 3, I mentioned that I had started a new project and that it was very time consuming. Now, calling it a project isn't totally accurate. I actually took on a full-time job with the company DarkPulse. This was a couple of months ago, and just recently we started our pipeline inspections for natural gas using drones. Now, up till this point, I'd only ever used drones for creative application, photo and video. I'd done some very basic mapping, but almost no data collection really to speak of. This is giving me the opportunity to cut my teeth in a new way with UAVs, and I gotta tell you, it's pretty fun, and there's a lot of adventure involved too. And I'm not gonna lie to you, the days are pretty long. I have to be up at 5:30 in the morning to get ready, and I need to be at the site that we're meeting at by 7 a.m. They are super long days, but you wanna maximize the amount of daylight that you have because we are out in the element. We're out in the wilderness for a lot of this project. That means we don't want to be caught in the dark out in the middle of the woods. We might get lost, or worse, a predator might eat us. Once I'm on site, I have to debrief with my boss, Matt. A lot of you might be thinking, oh, you have to work with your boss? That sucks. But actually, I'm really lucky. My boss is a laid-back kind of guy, very cool to hang out with, and he makes the day go by really fast. We have very long days, as I said before, and hanging out with a guy like him is just so cool, and we get to work together and fly drones. It doesn't feel like work when I'm working with Matt and when I'm flying a drone, to be honest with you. What's going on, guys? It's Chris, the Drone Geek, out in the field with Matt Coppage of DarkPulse. Matt, what are we doing today?
Methane detection, baby.
Methane detection using the MATRICE 300. And this is how we get around. We have a pickup truck that has all of our equipment in the back, and we tow a UTV behind us. And the reason we have that UTV is because sometimes you can't get to a spot with your truck that will reach the entire span of pipeline that you need to inspect. This project is hundreds of miles of pipeline, so you can't reasonably hit a huge section of it and get most of it done in one go. You're gonna have to hit different spots with your drone, and sometimes those are inaccessible to vehicles, and the choices are hike with your drone on your back, which with the MATRICE 300,
it's definitely a no for me, dog.
Or use a UTV of some sort to take the drone and yourself up to a spot that can get to the next section of pipeline that you need to inspect. I gotta tell you, some of the spots with that UTV were pretty treacherous. The vegetation was super high, and let's face it, the terrain was really, really rough and rugged. Another thing that's sort of tough about the job, and it's not really like actively difficult, but it's just one of those things that wears on you throughout the course of a really hot day, is the fact that you have to wear fire-resistant clothing on these pipelines. So I have long sleeves and pants on, plus boots, and then a hard hat, which is pretty well ventilated, so I don't have a lot of complaints there. But I've got all this stuff on that in the middle of summer makes it pretty warm. Now, I was fortunate to get some FR clothing that was super breathable, and I don't really feel it the way that other people do, but I have worn thicker FR clothing on hotter days, and I gotta tell you, it sucks. And like I said, we use the MATRICE 300 RTK to conduct these inspections. It gives us plenty of power, plenty of flight time, and a wide variety of payload attachment options to choose from. Now, you may be asking yourself, okay, this is all great, but how do you detect a leak in a natural gas pipeline using the MATRICE 300? That's a great question. There are two methods for detecting gas leaks in pipelines with drones that I'm aware of. We'll start with the method that we don't use, and then I'll move on to the one that we do use. The first method that we don't use is sniffer technology. And essentially what this is the drone is equipped with a sniffer, and that collects air samples in the airspace that the drone is flying, so directly over the pipeline. You're then able to analyze the air samples that the sniffer takes in and determine whether or not there's a leak in the area. At that point, the client has to send a team out to assess the leak and repair it. Again, we do not use sniffer technology. What we use is an OGI camera. That stands for optical gas imaging camera. And essentially what this is it's a thermal sensor that's calibrated to pick up on gases in the atmosphere. So we fly the drone over the pipeline with the camera pointed down at the pipeline, and we detect leaks as we go. I much prefer that method over sniffer technology, even though I've never used sniffer, because I can actively be doing something while I'm flying. I'm actually looking at the video feed and I'm able to monitor whether or not leaks are present on the pipeline. That makes the post-processing of all of the data much easier because you can sort of make a mental note or even a physical note of, hey, there was a leak on this marker on this part of the pipeline. It's really cool technology and stuff that I've never used before. Now, I can't get into detail about who we're working with, where we're working, where the pipelines are located, or anything like that. All I can share with you is the information I just shared with you and my opinion on the work that I do. I love it. It's absolutely fantastic. I get to be out in nature, and I'm talking some of the most grandiose places you've ever seen. Mountainous terrain, beautiful green scenery. It's fantastic. And honestly, there's not much that I'd trade this position for in the entire world. And I don't think it's any mystery if you've been on this channel for any length of time that I'm passionate about flying drones. It's something I really enjoy doing it. Pair it with my love for nature, and all of a sudden you've got a really happy camper. But what about you? What kind of experience do you have using drones outside of just photo and video? Let me know down in the comments below. If you don't have any experience using drones for anything other than photo and video, let me know if this is the type of work that interests you. If you'd be interested in cutting your teeth in the data collection and scientific application of drones. If you liked this video, hit the thumbs up icon down below. It helps me out a lot, helps get this video out into the algorithm. If you really like this video and you love drone content made by drones, about drones, and for drone pilots, this is the channel for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And while you're at it, hit the bell icon. It'll give you a notification every time I post a new video. Until next time, I'm Chris, the Drone Geek, and I am out of here. See ya!
Yo, what you